Boruto episode 47 now. This was a good episode. I really liked it. I feel like it was probably one of the better episodes of Boruto, honestly speaking. And it really made it very interesting, especially the fact of Shikadai and Ryogi having a very intricate relationship. And Shikadai not necessarily wanting to hurt Ryogi or probably take him down, probably turn him into the cops or anything like that. He just wanted to save his friend. I think that added an extra layer of entertainment to the actual episode. Now, going into the episode, it starts by Boruto and Shikadai actually confronting Ryogi. We know this, and one thing that was made apparent in this episode, one thing that was very highlighted in this episode was the use of the genjutsu. Now, genjutsu has been around in Naruto for a long time. Everybody knows this, but we didn't know that Ryogi or his uncle, quote-unquote, Gekko, actually had genjutsu. And it's kind of interesting that they actually did have genjutsu because we didn't really see it for any of the other fights, but we kind of seen it when Gekko actually put all the villagers under a genjutsu. But in terms of like the ice style, especially with Ryogi, that genjutsu looked like it was on another level. Now, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, obviously it's back when Ryogi actually summoned that ice style wall or whatever it was, and then he ended up putting Boruto in the genjutsu. And that right there, I think that fight between Boruto and Shikadai is probably going to be a basis for the next chunin exam. As you guys know, Boruto and Shikadai are definitely going to be fighting in the chunin exam. It's kind of cool to see that go down. And speaking of the chunin exam, it's going to be starting very soon. I'm too excited to be talking about that for the preview in the next episode. But to get back on track with this episode, they actually start to fight, which is like kind of interesting to me. And the one thing that we could really take away from that is, one, Boruto was pretty much fighting off of impulse, mainly because he was under genjutsu. He didn't really have a lot of strategy going into it. And another thing, it looked like Boruto came away with the last punch, and then Shikadai had to get him back when he punched him on the last try. But it's kind of interesting. One thing I do want to take away from that is the fact that Shikadai did say he was trained under genjutsu from Mirai. Her mother is Kurenai. She's basically a genjutsu master, so Mirai is also a genjutsu master. So it's kind of interesting to see that he's actually been trained in genjutsu. Like, that's going to be very helpful going forward. And the only person that was really trained in genjutsu at this stage last year, or I wouldn't say last year, but in Naruto Part 1 was Sakura, and probably Sasuke a tiny bit. But I think the only person that was on Shikadai's level at that point at genjutsu was Sakura. Into the actual plot now, Gekko seemed to actually put Ryogi under a genjutsu, which was interesting. I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't see that happening. To me, I thought it was a surprise. I actually really did think that Ryogi's parents probably died and Ryogi actually had an allegiance to Gekko, but it looks like that wasn't the case. Now, Gekko is definitely a scum. Like, I actually thought he was probably trying to do a good thing because he was a noble thief, but it looks like that's not actually what he was trying to do. He's going to actually sell the ninja weaponry to somebody and then basically retire after that. And I thought, like, yo, that's like a kind of scum thing to do, because if you're going to sell that ninja weaponry, you're probably going to get millions off of that. You know, if you get millions off of that, that could probably raise a couple of villages out of poverty. Now, if he was a noble thief, he would sell the scientific weaponry to get money to save the villages, it would have been a different story, but I still would have felt like that wouldn't have been the right thing to do, because imagine if Gekko would have probably sold the ninja weaponry to an organization like the Kata or something like that. It would have been crazy. But even though the Kata still have scientific weaponry, and we see how devastating that can be already right now in the manga, that's why I feel like him just selling the ninja weapon to anybody would definitely be a bad thing and possibly prove to be devastating to the Konoha. I personally feel like being a noble thief isn't really a bad thing, or I probably should say it isn't the worst thing you could possibly do, but it definitely is still a crime. I'm just saying, when stealing things from the rich actually hurts other people, I think that's where you kind of cross the line. I think him kind of selling the ninja weaponry to other people would probably hurt the Konoha, probably hurt other villages, because other people would probably use that for evil. But again, none of that matters because he was going to just sell it to retire on it, and I really didn't expect it. I really actually thought that Gekko was a nice guy, but it looks like he's not really a nice guy. Now, the Shikadai and Ryogi fight, it ended with talk no jutsu, but the thing about this talk no jutsu, I really liked it. I don't care. I thought that Ryogi didn't really necessarily deserve to go to jail, even though he did, and Shikadai actually pulling him into the light, I thought that was very good. Now, one thing I do want to touch on is Ryogi's seal, or Ryogi's genjutsu seal. I actually thought midway through the video it had something to do with Boruto's seal and kawaki seal as well. I didn't really think that it was going to actually be a genjutsu seal from Gekko, but that was a good surprise. One thing that I did see, that seal kind of mirrored, or it looked a little bit like Toneri's seal. I think I talked about it already in one of my past videos, and that's probably why I thought it was going to be something big. Now, one thing I do want to tell you guys, that seal could possibly be a foreshadowing to Boruto's seal seal. I'm pretty sure you guys all know when Ryogi actually unlocked the seal, or when the seal actually spread over Ryogi's face, just like how Boruto's seal spread over his face, Ryogi got a huge chakra boost. Like everything he touched turned to ice, like every time he walked. And Shikadai even commented on it. He said, hey, you're emitting too much chakra, you're about to explode. So that could possibly be the effect that Boruto's curse mark or Boruto's seal has on him. Maybe it's foreshadowing something in the future. I have no idea, but it really looked like the seal that Boruto had, and I really thought it was a nice implementation of that seal. Now towards the end of the episode, Naruto showed up, and I thought that was a very interesting thing to me, mainly because Boruto didn't necessarily see Naruto in his actual chakra mode before. At least that's what I think. I'm not sure, maybe Boruto and Naruto had like a run-in and Naruto had to whip him or something like that and he had to turn into a chakra mode. I have no idea, but I actually thought that was Boruto's first time of seeing him in chakra mode, but that probably wasn't the case, mainly because Boruto wasn't excited, like he wasn't surprised at all. Like he just knew that was Naruto and he was just like, oh, that's dad, ain't nothing to see here. But Naruto coming in at the end, I know a lot of people probably like that scene mainly because Naruto is probably a lot of people's favorite character, but there will also be those people that probably say that it's Boruto's story, why is Naruto still getting involved? And I actually don't mind, to be honest. I feel like Naruto, it's still his village, he still has to monitor everything, he still has to take care of every significant thing that arises. And what I do want to tell people is that Boruto is not going to be able to stop everything. Boruto's not going to be able to stop everyone. Like for example, back in the first part of Naruto wasn't out there fighting Orochimaru, he couldn't stop Orochimaru. The third Hokage had to handle Orochimaru. Even though it's a Naruto story, the third Hokage still had to handle Orochimaru. So that's pretty much all I gotta say about this episode. I really liked it, and I'll probably do like a closer looks episode on this because there's a lot of stuff that I probably missed in this review. But let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comment section below. As I said, I really personally liked it. I thought it was probably one of the best episodes of Boruto so far, but it was a very good one. But it's been your boy Barbie, and we out.
For my city, I'm the youngest nigga reppin'. Oh my god, if I die, I'm a legend. Oh my god, if I die, I'm a legend. I'm a first.